Hey everyone, how's y'all doing today? I'm doing great. So yesterday I was on TikTok Live and I was wearing a ton of makeup. You should have seen. I had the false eyelashes on. I had the pink eyeshadow. I had the glittery sequin dress. I was just dressed to the hilt, and I felt super uncomfortable in it. Just super uncomfortable. And I just decided plain Jane is better. So here you have me, no makeup. My hair not done really, just long. Let it grow as long as I want. The subject today are we alone in the universe? Is there alien activity out there? The Pentagon even admitted that there was alien activity, spaceships, UFOs, the military, um, the Air Force Base, Area 51. They all have had experiences. So I was able to capture a video on my TV show once with John, one of my clients, and he saw a diamond-shaped object floating around, and it was going like this all over the place. Planes don't do that. So, and it definitely wasn't his phone making that happen. Definitely wasn't an orb. And yes, I've had experiences with alien UFO activity. So why I chose to do this video subject matter today is randomly, just by algorithms and synchronicity, this one downloaded on my laptop a video that was explaining it pretty well. It was an overview of the universe and how we are not alone because there are wormholes in the universe. Just like I feel like when we pass, we float out of this wormhole and we go into another wormhole or dimension or a parallel universe. Because I always heard my spirit guides say to me, in another universe, you are healthy, healed, and whole, which means I could grab onto that universe and be healthy, healed, and whole, and be healthy, healed, and whole in this universe. Does that make sense? So anybody suffering with their illness or health, know that you can grab onto the parallel universe of you in the other universe, in the other dimension, and just put that inside of you. It's kind of like, actually, I think that's what aliens are so highly advanced, that and we as American citizens, in the old days before Christ, when there was Atlantis and Lemuria, we wiped ourselves out with advanced technology. Mankind, humans, and they had, they were riding dolphins and sonar high frequency pitches that the dolphins would have, and they were one with more the animals, and it was more of a gentler race where they were, shamanistic light workers, angels, magical people. And like I said, they had such high intelligence that they wiped themselves out with advanced technology. And then Atlantis and Lemuria they found the remains floating under the seawater in the ocean. And like I said, the reason I'm talking about the subject matter is because, we definitely, and me as a psychic medium, know that the most thing you should be afraid of, and I was told this by a master guru once, and his name is John also, that he said, be afraid of alien abductions. He's not afraid of any other movie, Chucky or anything like that. He's terrified of being abducted by an alien and having some studies done, because he knows that this stuff can really happen. I know some other psychics that claim that they have been abducted and done studies on their body, and they kind of floated out of their body for a while, and they were in the spacecraft or whatever, and then they came back and they had what they call maybe a near-death experience or something like that. So yes, it definitely does exist. So, just pray for protection that you do not ever come in contact with an alien abduction. Don't be alone in high peak mountains if you don't want to be abducted, but it might be a cool experience if you're abducted too. ET phone home, but and all that. But, don't be in an open field in the desert or something if you don't want to possibly, or it could happen even in your own neighborhood, when you're walking. And I'm not talking about abducted by people on the Earth plane. You know that. I'm talking about the alien activity abductions. So anyway, and and if you go around talking about it, don't give it too much power, because even the aliens know that what we give power to, our words are like a spell. They create things to happen. So, okay. So anyway, I decided to go live here today, and I usually throw out, I usually top it off, with a bunch of questions afterwards. But it's kind of cool because I'm on here by myself, so I don't see anybody on here with me. So that's kind of cool because I can just continue to talk. Let me see what this here. I'm going to go into this. Oh, there they are. Okay, now I did it. And I'm going to put the show your support for Jane open. So if you want to show any material support for me, go ahead, be it small donations or anything. Rosie Embriano is here. Moni BBY is here. Radhu Gupta, hi. How are you? I'm good. Can I please ask a question? Yes, you're here. Go ahead and ask a question. And ask a question if it's along the lines of the subject matter that we are doing. Okay? Yesterday I was live on TikTok and I did about 5 or 10 different questions. I exhausted myself yesterday on TikTok. And I have to kind of back off from social media. So I thought I'd just go live on YouTube for a little while, not drain myself energetically or psychically by trying to go into my psychic energy too much today. So I apologize if I can't today because I am just wiped out. I had a traumatic experience with the fake eyelashes, the false eyelashes I put on yesterday, and the glue, and some got in my eye, and it just I was scared because my eyeballs hurt this morning, but it is healed now. I just want to let you know it is healed and whole and okay now. I'm just very friggin' sensitive. So, so there were a lot of subject matters that they were talking about on this one video, and I'm going to play a little bit for you.
Right now on the overview, tracking mysterious objects in our solar system and in our sky. Plus, how the search for extraterrestrial life could come down to extraterrestrial pollution. Hi, and welcome to Some Peace and Quiet. And here, among this kind of sky, it's impossible not to look up and wonder whether we're alone in the universe. And while that question might seem totally natural out here in the desert, it gets a little bit more complicated back in civilization, among scientists, among governments, and even us, the media, as we saw from the moment we spotted our first interstellar object hurtling by us from a galaxy far away. Right out of the gate, any conversation about extraterrestrial life starts with the Hollywood problem. Welcome to Earth. And science fiction doing exactly that, taking the idea of science and making it fiction.
Now that's a proper introduction.
But what if we've already received a sign? At what point would it become scientifically acceptable to ask whether something we spot out in space is a sign of intelligent life?
So anyway, you definitely want to subscribe. Sorry. You definitely want to subscribe to this channel.
Professor and former chair of the
because they're pretty intelligent. I like what they have to say. And the channel, I'm going to tell you, is because I like to help people out and get subscribers. Oh, this is actually NBC News, this thing that they put on. Okay, I thought it was somebody else's separate channel. But just go ahead anyway and subscribe to NBC News because, psychics believe that you shouldn't watch the news too much because you never know, they're filling your body through and your mind through, a lot of fear-based stuff. But this one, I do feel like this is a really good video. Hi, Mandomania TV. Hi, I'm doing good. Thank you. And now I was watching some of Diana Lamont. She's on TikTok, and I think she's very gifted. I really do. So I know she's very gifted. So she says that where she lives in the Appalachian Mountains, she says she feels like the mountains are going to start opening up, and they're like waiting for something's going to happen. And I have this 100-year-old tree that is in my neighborhood, and today it is being cut down because it is curving towards her house, and I feel very bad. I looked out at the tree, and I saw the face on the tree, the nose, the eyes, everything. I swear to God. And then I saw a little thing right here, and it was like I observed that the tree was crying because it knew it was getting cut down. And it was like a little chunk that was like grew up from the tree that just appeared like 3 days before. Prior, that chunk wasn't there. And so I knew that the trees have life, and we, here we're living on the earth plane, and all the life forms should be honored and reserved and admired and be grateful for them and not taken for granted. How many times do we, kill a spider maybe, and we should have just put it on a piece of paper and brought it outside because we want to preserve that life. That's the Buddhist way. The Buddha way is to honor all people, all colors, all religions, all backgrounds, and just kind of, be in silence a lot and meditate, really. And then you start to see the universe opening up and actually doing you favors and helping you out. Sorry, I keep on having some things come up here on my laptop. So I'm going to be doing, I'm not doing readings today. No, I am sorry to disappoint you. I'm talking about the subject matter, but thank you for being on here and joining me. I will be up and doing readings another day, probably next week, but if you want, you can give your support to me by just subscribing to me. Hit the subscribe button. And then also know that these readings can be draining to me. So when I give free readings, offer a little love offering back. So it's good karma for you and for me, for that matter, because I'm getting my good karma by giving you free readings. I'm helping people in the world. So, and I'm not saying that just because I want money. I'm saying that this is a message for everyone, that they should do a little bit of tithing. If they take, and they want a lot of stuff for free, so that's why I admire the people that, pay me for the copper level or the subscriber, when they join, they hit the join button, because they're actually getting some materials and they're getting their money's worth for the materials that they bought per month. Like Mandomania TV, for instance. He's he's a nice fan of mine and follower, and we still are working on his missing person case, or his cousin had a murder, and we're still trying to get up some material about that. With my brain activity, I just worked on like 5 missing person cases yesterday on YouTube or on TikTok. I worked on John Benet Ramsey just for the heck of it. I worked on Casey Anthony and Kaylee Anthony. I worked on, and these weren't missing person cases, these were murder cases. And the reason why I go into those things is because I feel like I have the type of brain that can handle it psychically, and I can get the information in remote view and helpfully catch the perpetrators. So on TikTok, I'm Psychic Jane, at Psychic Jane. And here's some of my TikTok videos lately. And be sure to follow me over there. And when I go live, sometimes I go live double whammy. Double whammy means that I go live on TikTok at the same time I'm going live on YouTube, which is kind of confusing and complicated and hard, but it gets a lot more people here to my YouTube channel, which is good because then they'll subscribe to me. So I might go live today on TikTok and YouTube, but I told myself, Jane, you got to take a break today from social media. Your brain is tired. You're working too hard. But I'm a Scorpio and I work hard. Now, I wanted to also tell you that I got this Rife machine. The Rife machine is amazing. It's a Spooky 2. This is the laser and generator. This is a $900 piece of machinery that I got, and it's got a generator with it, which I can't show you because I can't lift it up, but it's right next to my laptop. And the Spooky 2 thing will go around my wrist like this. And you put your DNA in it from your fingernail, and you get a healing. And what it does is it gets rid of all the heavy metals in your body, the toxicities in your body. It gets rid of all the parasites. It gets rid of all the Morgellons diseases. It gets rid of cancer, supposedly. It gets rid of, I'm not making any medical claims here. I got to add that in too. This video is not about medical claims, but sounds like something that the alien activity would use, right? It's like way out there. It's like, what? Why didn't the doctors know about this? Well, because it's a $900 piece of equipment, and they don't want to sell that to people. What do you think of black magic? I think it comes back on the person tenfold. That's what I think about black magic. I think white magic is definitely the better way to go, set with intention to help people, not harm people. So black magic is to harm people and harm others with burning candles and rituals. And yes, it can work, I guess. You can just feel the psychic attack from it, though. Like if somebody's nasty thinking towards you and they're thinking, oh, you bitch, and stuff. And you can feel that. Your higher consciousness feels that when somebody's doing that to you, right? You can just feel a friend thinking bad of you because all of a sudden you go, why don't I want to call this friend anymore? Because she's talking bad crap about me, So that's, basically what it is like to feel a psychic attack. Add negativity towards your energy. Yeah, I know. Black magic is not good. But white lighter magic, like Charmed, the TV show. But, if you're doing good magic to help people, that is good. It's not going to come back on you tenfold. And you can even do magic about a ritual about winning the lottery if you want, And I say that anything for your highest intention is okay, but it has to be for you. So you're casting the circle with the 4 elements of earth, air, fire, and water to bring about what you desire. And it's just a more powerful prayer is all it is. It's using the pentacle, the pentagram, which is the same thing used in the acupuncture symbol. It is something not to fear. People get caught up in fearing that pentacle or pentagram, that star with the round circle around it. And the reason they fear it is because movies depict it as really bad, and maybe the witches on the movies are trying to do good things. They're trying to get rid of something that was negative on them, and yes, I believe in putting the lemon in the freezer with the person's name on it, though, just to get rid of bad energy from that person. Say somebody's thinking bad of me, I'm going to put their name on the lemon in the freezer. That's all. And it's kind of like telling the creator to take care of it, just to get that person away from me. That's all. It's just a little prayer. It's just one step up from a prayer. We can pray, and like sometimes I believe the way people pray is wrong. They're like, please God, please God, please give me a new car in the future. Well, guess what? It's never going to happen because you're praying in the future. You're putting it in the future. That's supplication. So how to pray is by saying, thank you, God, I already have it. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for it. And you visualize it actually showing up in your lap. You visualize yourself getting in that new red car, Mustang or whatever. You visualize yourself having it. And I do put stuff like that on my altar to manifest. I put money on my altar. I put little Hot Wheels on my altar to manifest the cars in my life. I've always gotten free cars. Never had to pay for a car my whole life because I'm taken care of. The universe is taking care of me. So let's see. My altar is back there. You could kind of see it back there. And I tell people this because I want to teach the ways, the high priestess ways that I've learned. And I am a self-ordained high priestess, which means a magical person, a magician, or a magical entity. And we all have that ability, though, to be magical. It's just the way we think. Like if we keep thinking negative thoughts towards somebody else and we keep talking about it, we're going to keep being stuck because we got triggered by that person all the time. It's like if we're not matching our trauma and healing our trauma, then we're completely energetically always stuck. And that person will continue to trigger us and trigger us and trigger us. And it can push people away from you because you're highly emotional when you're getting triggered all the time. And it can, just do damage to yourself internally, psychically. And we're all empaths. We're all very empathic. Now, I saw a really good guy on TikTok last night that was saying that somebody that tries to control you by stating, Oh, what about all I did for you? How could you do this to me when all I did for you? And that is a control tactic. That is a manipulation. That is a form of just really manipulating control, and very kind of narcissistic and even abusive and very controlling. And so, it's like, let's work on healing the trauma. A lot of us are under trauma right now. Think about how much trauma we're all under right now. Sorry, I did one nail, but I didn't do the other yet. So this one nail is done almost. So let's talk about healing the trauma. How do we heal trauma? We meditate, meditate, meditate. We light a candle daily for ourselves. We ask Mother Earth to remove our trauma. We ask to remove our victim thinking. We do not put ourselves in a victim thinking. We think before we react to what the other people say to us. If somebody says something and it really upsets you and you're like, oh God, how dare them, and blah, blah, blah. Start to react and see it. You start to see it, and you actually send love and light, compassion towards them instead, and you realize they're speaking the mirror image of what they're really feeling about themselves. Something to think about, right? Because when people accuse you of something, what they're really doing is they're accusing themselves of doing it to you. They're accusing the mirror image of themselves. They're speaking about themselves. So it's like, you realize that then you start to see it in the light that the Buddhist way is like, oh, I see that about them, and I send them love and compassion. But I don't engage or embrace in having a relationship with them because they're not healthy for me. They'll bring me down. They're toxic. And unfortunately, yes, we do have to remove toxic friends sometimes, and it is very difficult. It's like, you still think about them. You still send them love. You know that you still love them in your heart. But if you're in an abusive relationship, then you can't be healthy and whole and healed yourself, because they're rubbing off and they're taking all that psychic attack and they're putting all their stuff onto you. When you're around them, you're picking it all up, you're empathic, and for instance, a friend of mine yesterday, we were walking in the woods and she lost her phone. And the day prior, she got stuck in an elevator for like 45 minutes. And she was really terrified. And I thought to myself, I wonder if it's because she's complaining the whole way about everything and everyone when she was on the walk with me. And see, when we get caught in complaining about everything all the time, we're caught in a vicious circle and we're stuck. And then the universe can't bring us rewards. It gives us more situations that are terrifying, fear, just we draw those situations to us. Like, if she wasn't complaining all the time, she might not have even gotten in that elevator that day. Her gut might have told her, listen, for some reason, don't get in the elevator that day. Because she would be listening more. But instead, she's so focused on what's hurting her and what's wrong with these people and what they're doing to her all the time. I'm a victim, 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 victim. You put yourself in more of a victim category, and then the universe gives you more victim shit to throw at you. So she got stuck in an elevator. Then she lost her phone, and we had to look all over for her phone. And I was like exhausted by the time I was done that day. And, she doesn't go on my YouTube videos, but I love her dearly. She's a good friend of mine. I'm just saying, I tried to talk to her about this, but she didn't buy into it. She didn't believe it. So for you people who want to listen and believe it and apply it to your life, you'll really see good change in your life. You'll see things starting to really go your way. You know how some people go around and they say, oh God, I have such bad luck all the time. I don't know why I have such bad luck. It's because they're saying that. They're saying those words. Those words are like a spell in the universe, that it's like a prayer. Okay. So if you buy into that and believe you have bad luck, then yes, the universe is going to give you more bad luck. I used to always say when I was young, my parents owned this house. I used to always say, every time my parents go out of town, Roto-Rooter has to come and do the snake in my toilet. Here, I didn't realize at that time in my life, because I was young and naive, that I was creating that to happen. Because again, every time they went out of town, they were my landlords, my parents, because they owned the house and I rented it from them at the time. Roto-Rooter did have to come. And I was like, oh my God, I created that. So don't think about your, tree vines growing on your house and scared that they're going to disrupt the house, because they could, or don't put it out there that you're worried about something because you're going to make it happen. And it's really like insane when you start to think about it like that. Like, wow, it really is it's a fifth dimensional universe, people. So we get jacked up about everybody and everything sometimes, and we're like so angry. And then we notice that if we sat to notice and meditate a little bit and really listen to God and spirit, we would realize that we're doing it ourselves. Seriously, can we make it happen? Yes. And we can make ourselves sick too, because anger stores in the liver, can be toxic. So the affirmation could be, I apply love to all situations, everything, and everyone. I apply love to every situation, everything, and everyone. And just keep saying that affirmation daily if you have some stored anger issues or if you have some trauma. Because people that have trauma were severely walked over, severely abused, severely, very bad things happen to them, I'm sure, like violent things even. And so, it's like, cut the cord of that situation. My spirits just said, cut the cord. Imagine an umbilical cord cutting, an etherical, invisible umbilical cord between you and that person. And just imagine yourself cutting it like an invisible scissors in a guided meditation, and see that person going and floating out to outer space or whatever. And then you just want to visualize yourself also giving that person a hug too. Like if you're angry at your mother and she doesn't speak to you or something, like you want to just give your mom a big hug in a guided visualization of her, and then cut the cord. It's hard to cut the cord on your own mother, but some people and some women have to, because they were extremely abused by their own mothers. And that's very sad. So that's a lot of people have trauma that way, or they were, victims of very bad things, which I don't even know if I can say the words on here, so I'm probably not going to. Have you heard of jinns before? JINS, NNS, or jinn, GIN? I've heard of jinn, which is that group that is supposed to be about money, that abundance and prosperity. I don't know what you're talking about with jinns. No, I have not heard of jinns, but I'll have to look it up. Lama, yes, you need to do this. This is very high vibrating words that my spirits are channeling through me right now. I've known this stuff for years, and sometimes it is hard when I get into the funk myself of depression in the wintertime, usually when it's like cold out and I don't go out of the house hardly, and I'm not moving, and I start to get into, and I'm lacking vitamin D. I start to really, really get depressed, almost to where I need to move to another warmer climate, because it gets so bad for me in the winter. And then I forget to apply it. And that gets dangerous for me then, because then all of a sudden my body, literally, I had severe health issues, and it was because I was so depressed and so angry, and I wasn't taking care of myself, and I was overworking and sitting on social media, looking at my phone all the time. And, and that's the other thing too, the EMFs from your phone. You need to stay off your phone at least 2 hours per day, because the EMFs, the radiation from that phone, and especially now because we're very sensitive on the earth plane because of the 5G. So a lot of people say that 5G is conspiracy theory, but if you think about it, that's more EMFs that the universe and the world is throwing at us. That's advanced technology. Again, that's highly advanced technology, because everything is working faster. But if we're on our phone a lot, we're actually going with the algorithms of the phone more, and we're going to be working faster. We're going to be always anxious and wonder why we're so anxious. And then we go, well, maybe I have to go off caffeine. Well, that's the first step, yes, because maybe Western medicine is bad too. Western society makes us drink caffeine to wake up every day. But then we speed when we drink caffeine, right? We race. And, there's just so many things that, like, a sensitive person like me, and my spirit guides even said that, they said today that I was a sentinel. And I'm like, what the heck is a sentinel? I forget. And then they made me research it, and it's somebody that is like a guard or protector of people. So somebody's calling me from Minnesota, but I don't think I'm going to get it. I think I'm going to let it go. I think it's a person that has a question, because my spirit guides just said they have a question and they're from TikTok. Well, let's see. Hello. Hello. No, okay, never mind. This is not. Okay. I thought my spirit guide said that, but maybe it's the next caller. Okay, so never mind. So, and sometimes like my spirit guides will tell me stuff in the future and I'll get confused because I'll think it's the now, but I always remember that my spirits always say stuff in the future. Like what's going to happen. Like they showed me a crane yesterday and then they said leaf blower or leaf truck. And I was like, what? And here the tree cutting service is here today with the crane. So they were warning me last night, but I didn't know what it meant. Because sometimes we literally don't know what things mean when we hear it from our spirit guides. So we have to ask our spirit guides, what does it mean? Why did you tell me this? You have to go into a meditation because you could be walking through the house and all of a sudden you hear something in your ear from your spirit guide. So a lot of subject matters talked about today. Okay. I hope I helped you guys today. How do you protect yourself from her negative energy? You can imagine a bubble around yourself of protection. But if persons are negative energy, then you want to just stay away from them because that's the only real way you can protect yourself. But if you can't and you have to be around that person all the time, then you have to just imagine that bubble around yourself of protection and just say affirmations, I am safe, and really work hard on thinking about how you can make your plans to get away from that person so that you're not around them as much. Because I think that relationships can be healed sometimes between two people when you're not around them a lot too. So like if enough time and space goes by, then it can grow and that person can come back into your life later, healed down the line. So okay, well, thanks guys for watching my video. Even though I started out talking about aliens and ETs and extraterrestrials, I got into a different subject matter, but that's how I am. You're Middle Eastern and in your culture. Let's see that comment up here. E says, I'm Middle Eastern and in my culture, it's so popular for people to do black magic to people they hate or jealous. It's really scary. I am so sorry. Yeah, it's a certain culture. Yes, you're right. And don't be scared of it though, because really it's like if they were really that powerful, they say they are, and they say they can make people die and everything from black magic. But if that's the case, Trump would have died a long time ago, President Trump, because a lot of people were trying to do black magic against him and take him down, So I know that there were magicians out there of black magic that were trying to get Trump, dead. And that didn't happen, right? So, now he did get out of the presidency, but I really think that was his own doings why he got out of the presidency, because he was angry. He had issues, and a lot of people didn't like the issues that he had, But he won the presidency too, when he was voted in. So, your cousin appeared in your dream. Wow. And your cousin was trying to tell you something. We talked briefly, but he looked like a teenager when he was younger. Wow, how cool. How cool, Mandomania, is that? Can I call you back in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, you going to be there?
Yeah.
I'll call you back. Okay, bye. Okay. My sister was calling me. So, so I'm going to let me sink in that question again, Mandomania, that comment that you made. Thank you for making that comment, Mandomania. Jane, my cousin appeared in my dream. Yeah. And we talked briefly, but he looked like a teenager. Okay, and you know why they do that? Because they go back into a younger body when they're on the other side. So that's why he appeared as a teenager. And I think also it could have been telling you that something shifted around the time he was a teenager in his life to cause him future struggle in his life. Because no matter what, he drew that energy to himself. Subconsciously or unconsciously, he drew that energy to himself for that to happen to him. What you focus on magnifies. That's why I try to ask for protection when I do the missing person cases, because I don't want to draw that kind of energy to me. So I really burn my candle. I do my sage. Then I have to go away from it and walk away from it too after a while. But, like when you're focused on stuff, if you're in the right thing as a psychic, you're going to be safe and protected anyway. And I know how to put the bubble of protection around myself so that nothing comes to me that way, or I don't penetrate it, or I don't take it into my soul. So I think that there was some things. He was smiling the whole time. That's nice. The dream felt so real, like he was really there with him. Well, I think he knew that you were talking to a psychic about it. He knew you were talking to me. So he wanted to come into your dream to reassure you that he was okay, and that he took on a younger body, and that he was happy on the other side in heaven. And yes, you do feel so real, like you're in that dream, because you're in that dimension with them. You astral travel to that dimension to meet them halfway in kind of like this wormhole in the universe in your dream. So you actually astral travel out of your body, out of your physical, when you're in the dream world. So isn't that cool? And why do we have scary dreams? Because we're supposed to have them, so so our fears are triggered, so we can heal them too and grow spiritually in our dreams. So that's why we have fear dreams and terrifying nightmares and things like that. Why do children have nightmares? Because past life memories usually why children have nightmares. You're welcome, Mando. Thank you for being here. And I still try to meditate on that for you. I have so many missing person cases that I'm meditating on right now. I got myself a little exhausted, I have to say, and I have to be careful myself with how much I take on. So I like to just kind of work with the law enforcement on those cases, and then they're totally taking me to the scene, and it's just they're letting me do my focus as a medium and psychic, and I'm pretty much talking to the spirit the whole time if the person has passed, which most of the time they are for missing person cases, but few rare exceptions, maybe they're still alive. So anyway, that's basically what it's about, and thank you all for listening today. I'm a little tired. I'm going to take a rest today because of the traumatic experience I had with the false eyelashes glue getting in my eye. So I'm still healing my eye. You can see one's kind of like looks darker than the other, and I have no makeup on for that reason today. So thank you all for being here. Love you all. Blessings. Have a great day.